Minister responsible for national security, Charles Savary, has questioned the intentions of UWP candidates for Salisbury and Marigot as it relates to the upcoming by-elections and what it could mean for these constituencies. On Monday, Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit announced that by-elections for these constituencies were due on July 9, 2010. Savary, who was speaking on KairiFM program Wednesday, raised questions about the party's intention to serve or not to serve in Parliament should they be successful in the upcoming by-elections.
And the challenge for the people in Salisbury and constituency and Marigot constituency is to know what would be the position of UWP candidates if they were to win. Would they win and then continue to boycott Parliament? In other words, are they asking people, or will they be asking people to vote for them so that they will not go to Parliament? Because the contract that you have as a candidate, as a PAL rep, is to represent your people in and out of Parliament. You have, and the parliamentary, because you are elected as a member of Parliament, your major constitutional, contractual responsibility is to be in the Parliament to give representation to the people on all measures being brought to the Parliament by the government of the day. And to yourself by the various provisions of the House, asking questions, introducing resolutions, private members' motions, and so forth, to seek to articulate the interest of the members who have voted for you and sent you to Parliament. So any candidate must, I would feel, declare to the constituents and to the country what their intention would be. Should they win, will they go to the Parliament? And if their position is that we want you to vote for us but we will not go to the Parliament, then clearly the constituents have a decision to make.
Minister responsible for national security, Charles Savary. Meantime, Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit says by-elections is costing the state unnecessary funds.
The money that we have to fix the Monratchet Road, the money that we have to fix the public convenience in Salisbury, the money that we have to build houses for the poor people in Marigot, we now have to take to hold by-elections in Dominica. You understand? And if they move the court, money that we should be using to develop the country, we have to now engage lawyers at exorbitant rates to fight these cases on behalf of the Speaker and the country. These are the things these are unnecessary situations where both Mr. James and Mr. John have caused the taxpayers to be in. So in a time when there's a global crisis and Dominica has been affected by it, and money that we should be using to effect improvements to the country, we don't have to take it and unnecessarily spend it in the by-elections, because elections cost money. You have to move the police, you have to move the election machinery, you have to print ballot papers, you have to employ returning officers, and some of them are public officers. They have to leave their jobs and go and work for the entire day. We have all these things that you have put in place to host elections and so forth. And these are things that we could have used the money to do other things in the country. I mean, there are a number of things that we can be using this money for. You understand? And the people in Sam's Gutter and all these places who need this money to improve their homes, we have to spend it.
Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit. The two seats had been declared vacant by the Speaker of the House of Assembly following the absence of the two members, Edison James and Hector John, for Marigot and Salisbury respectively, for missing the 3 consecutive sessions of the House of Assembly. Following the general elections of December 2009, the United Workers' Party had made public the decision to boycott Parliament since the party believed that elections were not free and fair. Sales and Marketing Manager of PetroCaribe Dominica, Ian Pinard, has told the launching of the PetroCaribe LPG that the initiative signals their relevance as an energy partner for Dominica. He says PDV Caribe Dominica Limited is seeking to advance Dominica's expertise in the oil business.
This occasion is special because it officially marks the entrance of PDV Caribe into the Dominica LPG market. But even more than that, this event further stamps PDV Caribe Dominica Limited relevance as an energy partner for Dominica. As you sit in this facility today, the Waitakubuli Fuel Storage and Distribution Plant, I want to bring to your attention several factors. Factors that are important because of the effort that we at PDV Caribe Dominica Limited are exerting to advance Dominica expertise in the oil business. The first is the physical infrastructure that surrounds us in this tangible result. is the tangible result of such a bigger vision, a vision of a transformed energy sector for Dominica. The outcome is this impressive US $35 million infrastructure. 6 tanks have been constructed on 7 acres of land that distribute diesel, gasoline, liquid petroleum gas LPG, and Jet A1 fuel. The total storage capacity of the White Kubuli fuel storage and distribution plant is 39,000 barrels. Capacity that is enough to cover over 3 months' consumption for the entire country of Dominica.
Sales and Marketing Manager of PetroCaribe Dominica, Ian Pinard. A total of 16 persons are currently employed at PetroCaribe. According to Pinard, this could soon increase to 33.
16 persons are currently on permanent staff here at PDV Caribe Dominica Limited, 14 of whom are Dominicans. 5 persons are on temporary staff. However, the staffing is expected to increase to 33 in the not-too-distant future. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a step in the right direction. And today, we take yet another step forward. We're expanding a line of products that respond to the needs of the Dominican consumer of petroleum products. Today, we officially launch PetroCaribe LPG to the Dominican market. What this signals is our intention to increase our product line to meet the demands of the Dominican consumer. As your demand for energy increases, so too will the scope of PDV Caribe Dominica Limited. In that regard, we commit to bringing to you, the Dominican consumer, more than just price benefits. We also commit to quality benefits as well. Therefore, we encourage you to buy the PetroCaribe line of products, all of which are available island-wide. Because your support makes it possible for us to continue to serve you.
Sales and Marketing Manager of PetroCaribe Dominica, Ian Pinard. Meantime, Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry responsible for PetroCaribe, Ivor Stevenson, has described the launching of the PetroCaribe LPG as the fruit of the cooperation between the two countries. He says Wednesday's launching of PetroCaribe LPG marks the start of improvements in the lives of Dominicans.
Dominica has always depended on imported oil, with the risks that go with imports, sudden price hike, and unforeseen shortages. But it was Prime Minister Skerrit who met with President Chavez's hand of friendship with a similar hand of friendship. 5 years ago, Prime Minister Skerrit signed the PetroCaribe Agreement. And 1 year ago, next week, that is as far as I was told on Sunday, President Chavez inaugurated this plan. Today, after PetroCaribe Diesel and PetroCaribe Gasoline, we launch PetroCaribe LPG. Ladies and gentlemen, let me now tell you why this launch makes me happy. Public office can be tough. Public office can be demanded, but every so often, a result comes with that makes life of the people better. When that happens, public office is a source of joy. Today, in the launch of PetroCaribe LPG, we have such a moment, an improvement in the life of citizens and a joy in the hearts of this policymaker. Here is what PetroCaribe LPG will do. PetroCaribe LPG will cook your food faster. And for a government that is formed by a political party whose motto is all shall eat, that, ladies and gentlemen, is a good thing. PetroCaribe is cleaner, which should be a source of joy for all of the nature islands. LPG use reduces on the abuse of our forest cover.
Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry responsible for PetroCaribe, Ivor Stevenson. He says PetroCaribe's introduction to LPG is testimony to government's commitment to reducing the cost of living.
The government of Prime Minister Skerrit is committed to the cost of keeping the cost of living down. PetroCaribe helps in that regard. This government is committed to protecting the elderly. A number of governments have been taken to do just that. There is the non-payment of hospital fees by the elderly. There is the Yes We Care program that provides support services to the elderly in their homes. And there is the program by PDV Caribe Dominica Limited to guarantee a continuous supply of all LPG to all centenarians in Dominica. Most of all, this joint venture, PDV Caribe Dominica Limited, is a result of the coming together of governments of Venezuela and Dominica and is a clear sign of this government's commitment to use creative means to tackle the problems of development that we face in this blessed country of ours.